Alright boys, so why is CJ Stroud stock slowly falling? In short, it's Houston's fault. More so, they're managing their own risk. General manager Nick Caserio came out and said they were shopping the number 2 overall pick shortly after Bryce Young became the Vegas favorite to land in Carolina. Teams around the league believe Carolina has done its due diligence with the quarterbacks and have elected to go with Young after he scored a 98 out of 99 on the S2 cognition test, which measures how quickly a player can process information. For some context, a 91 plus classifies a top-tier starter in the NFL. It's been reported but not confirmed that Stroud did not test well on the S2 cognition test. Rumor has it Brody scored an 18%. Yeah. That raises eyebrows because an anonymous executive was quoted saying, "If you get a high score as a quarterback, it's not saying you're going to be a great player, but if you get a low score, it's 100%. None of the quarterbacks that got a low score became good players. The benchmark is 80. 80 and above is good. Stroud was 18. It's incredibly terrible. He's going to be off some teams' boards. He will not be picked by those teams." Now people are saying it falls under that adage, if you have nothing good to say nothing at all. More specifically, the test measures perception speed, search efficiency, tracking capacity, visual learning, instinctive learning, decision complexity, distraction control, impulse control, and improvisation. Now I should say that the founder of this S2 cognition test came on the Pat McAfee show and said this.
So somebody could have gotten a list of very early scores. One of the athletes on that particular list I know had a difficult time making his way to the All-Star game. Things were delayed. He was in high demand. He was hungry, tired. It was 11 p.m., didn't want to do it. He was frustrated. We administered the test because we're asked to. We knew at that point in time, hey, we'll get you again. We'll get you at your pro day, your 30 visit. We did that, and his score is significantly higher than what is being reported in the media.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that it was CJ Stroud.
So let's assume he was talking about CJ Stroud, although he never confirmed nor denied it. Anyway, for more context, Brock Purdy scored the highest last year, and other notable low to mid-90s scores include Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Justin Fields. It's only recently been introduced to the NFL, so the pool for comparison is very limited. Now, why is the S2 score a little more important for two-time Heisman finalist CJ Stroud? Well, CJ Stroud is the only one of the top prospects who did not call his own plays. It's not his fault, but all play calls and audibles came from the coach signaling, leading most teams to believe he has way more developing to do than expected. If you take a deeper dive into film, you see that he's only asked to make simple high-low reads, predominantly outside the hashes. We didn't see enough of those tight middle window completions. That's why I don't really see the Burrow comparison in anticipation or pocket play. Some say he looks afraid to get hit when he's pressured, which is a red flag on the simple fact that it can lead to very rushed throws. He's just not as polished as people believe. Will he be a good quarterback eventually? Certainly. He's just going to need a bit more developing than usual, which makes him not be that blue chip prospect some make him to be. Often you see wide open players on the opposite side of the field in plays which he still commonly completes, so it wasn't a big issue, but he's going to have to progress through all of his reads in most NFL plays. He's not going to make the same kind of throws in the NFL. Enough slander, now let's look at what the man does well. CJ can consistently push the ball downfield, he completes passes and moves the change. For the most part, he gets the ball out of his hands quickly and with determination. He knows where to look and finds the hole in the defense. Rarely does he force a throw that's not there. Now, shout out to his O-line because a lot of these things wouldn't be as magnified if it weren't for his O-line. All season, people questioned his mobility, but he proved those concerns to be wrong against the NFL-ready Georgia defense. His throw trajectory is unreal. He consistently gives his receiver the best chance to catch balls. Drive, layer, touch. Is it a back shoulder or is it a lead-em? That's what he does so well. He has no mechanical issues in that aspect of the game. He doesn't buzz his feet, he doesn't lean back and make technical issues like a lot of the youngins do. He calls himself a ball placement specialist. And he is, but it's miles harder in the NFL than it is in the Big Ten. Now, GP, you tell us what you see in CJ Stroud.
I think one of CJ Stroud's biggest strengths is his overall poise in 2-minute situations, especially when he's facing man coverage. He's very decisive and doesn't waste time. With his size, arm talent, and his mobility, he's being compared to Joe Burrow. In this play here, he doesn't waste time and plays fast and gets through his reads. Although right here, he hitches when he throws. He's excellent at not taking sacks. CJ Stroud's pressure to sack conversion rate was 11.5, whereas former Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields was at 23.6. In this play here, Jalen Carter gets a free shot at CJ Stroud. However, he uses his movement as a passer, not as a runner, to get a positive play out of it. Then here again, you see leakage up front, he avoids the sack, and has a strong tendency to make educated scramble throws, low and away, only the receiver can get it. Another thing CJ Stroud does well is he takes shots downfield based on position-based matchups like this running back versus linebacker. Again, on this play action boot, he moves up in the pocket, steps up in it, and delivers the ball downfield. Speaking of moving the ball downfield, on this play, he basically runs the route for the wide receiver by throwing the ball more downhill to beat the safety. Nothing here says that the tight end is open, but CJ Stroud recognizes that he has body positioning over the linebacker. Zach Wilson doesn't do this at all in the NFL, and that's why he struggles. So, if you're a team in need of a quarterback and you want to win in crunch time, CJ, he's that guy.